7 kids on a railroad track, south of San Diego, the world on their backs, and their parents hope they'll be safe. A white van comes and picks them up, promises them water and a meal and a place to stay. Hey,
I can see smoke and I can see fire. They say stay calm and the situation is gone.
good thing the bodegas fall, at least we won't go hungry and it won't get dull when the city burns. Losing our touch and we're losing our way. Am I losing my grip? Guess I'd rather not say. One thing's true, everything's gonna change. It feels so familiar, but damn, it feels so strange. She's alright. She goes to the tabernacle Saturday night and prays. Someone knows more than the doctors, I'm sure. If you have enough faith, there's always a cure. Losing our touch and we're losing our way. Am I losing my grip? Guess I'd rather not say. One thing's true, everything is gonna change. It feels so familiar, but damn, it feels so strange. Good night, baby. Can I see it tomorrow? Can I see it tomorrow? Will it be it tomorrow? Will it be it tomorrow? Seven kids on a railroad track, south of San Diego, the world on their backs, and their parents hope they'll be safe. Doctor has arrived. She's keeping you alive. Machines and apple juice, acceleration dreams. Medication seems to work. A warrant for your search, surviving your scorched earth. I'm grateful for your schemes, acceleration dreams, information gleaned is gold. Girl cried roses, boy cried wolf, baby in the bathwater, pennies in the dirt. Glad you had your fun, but it's time to go. You're taking out guardrails like cautionary tales. Consequences reaped, acceleration dreams, reading magazines in jail. Girl cried roses, boy cried wolf, baby in the bathwater, pennies in the dirt. Glad you had your fun, but it's time to go. I saw you in the church. The gods had left you in the lurch. You had a million streams, acceleration dreams. Karma's catching up with you. A warrant for your search, surviving your scorched earth. Grateful for your schemes, acceleration dreams, information gleaned is gold. Girl cried roses, boy cried wolf, baby in the bathwater, pennies in the dirt. Glad you had your fun, but it's time to go. Glad you had your fun, but it's time to go. Stop thinking about you, but still goes on without you. Why did you stay on my mind? I fear I'm losing mine again. There's nothing you. Life still goes on without you. Why, dear, do you stay on my mind? I fear I'm losing mine. There's nothing that doesn't remind me. Memory leans where you find me. I'm stuck, the tape keeps looping. Time's up, who's been duping? Every time I try to remember, there are times I can depend on you to give me a heartthrob and those hazy dopamine blues. Dopamine blues. So getting around it, you never leave it like you found it. You just gotta get through it. There's nothing you can do but do it. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I am in the studio today with members of Turn, Turn, Turn. They just released their second album, New Rays from an Old Sun, and I'm really psyched to have you guys in the studio. Love the album. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having us.
So I'm going to have you rewind to take me all the way back to the beginning of Turn, Turn, Turn. What was the idea behind the band, and was there a impetus behind it? There a sound you were looking for? What happened?
Somebody asked me to put together a singer-songwriter night just to, play some covers.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it might be a cool opportunity to play covers of my favorite country, folk, rock, kind of three-part harmony stuff. I thought it'd be cool to have my voice with a couple of women. And my daughter was the first one. Ava sang with us, and Barb. And so we did a few shows, just sort of like, brewery shows. And I'm always looking to do something different. I'm kind of juggling different projects. And I thought, I don't really get to sing a lot of harmonies like the Honey Dogs. I had a bunch of guys in the band that didn't like to sing. I always kind of had to force everyone to sing. So I thought, well, that would just be fun to do some of my favorite songs. And so we started that way and played a few shows. And at one point we kind of ran out of material one show, and Ava played a couple shows with us, and then Savannah came and joined us, and we did a few shows with Savannah. We were playing a show one night when we ran out of songs, and Barb leans over to Savannah and says, "Why don't you just do one of your covers?" And
Originals.
Did I say cover? I'm sorry. Originals. And I just kind of cringed because I thought this was going to just be a cover project.
Yeah.
So Savannah played her original, and people loved it, and lights kind of went off. Like, what if we did originals? What if we made a record or something like that? And within a couple of weeks, we were in the studio, and I had lots of songs, and they had songs, and we all brought them together and made a record, and then kind of decided that we're not a cover band mostly anymore. We're an originals band.
I thought that was kind of a misprint when I saw that in your promo material, that you were formed as a cover band. I thought, what?
Yeah.
These guys, your originals are so cool.
Thank you.
That I just thought, what covers? Who did you cover?
Oh, man, everything.
Velvet
Americana.
Underground, Monkeys. Let's see, who else did we do? What did you sing? You sang
America.
at 17.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Nick
America.
Drake.
Nick Drake.
We did the Rain song by Led
Just like a
Zeppelin.
wide
Zeppelin,
variety of
like-
60s,
Yeah,
70s
it was country and folk and rock and just
Graham Parsons, Flying
Yeah.
Burrito Brothers. Yeah, we had
Stones.
We had a residency at the Astor Cafe. I think the first year we were together, and
As a
it was-
trio? Or-
Yes. So it was every Wednesday night for 3 months, and that's where we would get together at my house every Monday to rehearse, and then we would play on Wednesday, and we always had a new
couple songs.
couple of songs
Yeah.
in there. So and that was pretty much all or mostly covers because we
Yeah.
only had, 10 songs, 10 original songs. I
Yeah, so even when we had all the originals, we were still kind of throwing stuff in, Nico and
Mm-hmm.
just America, all kinds of things.
So when you started writing songs, or when you brought original songs to the band, did you write for the band, or do you write just to write a song, or do you write specifically for 3-part harmonies and this instrumentation?
I mean, I would say the first record that we did, I had a bunch of songs that I could have used for the Honey Dogs or something else, and I just thought, it sounded great, actually, without me singing. Like, what if somebody else was singing like the song Cold Hard Truth? That was going to be a Honey Dog song, and I think it sounds way better with a couple of female voices singing it. But then when we started writing again, I think we wrote with the intention of creating 3-part harmony songs for the second record.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of these songs, what I also read in your promo material was that you had a lot of these already written, and you still have a lot left that haven't been recorded yet. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole library full of original songs somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of tearing it up during the pandemic. There wasn't a lot to do except take long walks and write music in that period. So I wrote a lot of songs. I mean, I was super excited about writing. And I think as I was writing, I was starting to record the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of got to work on stuff really quickly. It wasn't easy to get everybody together because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of got a good jump start on stuff in that time.
Tell me about forming this band with the instrumentation you have now. Were you always looking for this current lineup with the keyboards and the pedal steel and the banjo, mando, and
No, I mean, I think we started as a trio, and that was what we were going to do. But I think it was the Turf Club gig in January of right after we formed, where we were like, well, let's put a full band together for this. And I think Jason Shannon was playing. Was he playing keyboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was he produced or engineered the first album, so we invited him. But I think so then were you? Yep, you played, and we had Tony. What's her last name? The guitar player. With
Tony
Marina.
played a song. Tony Lindgren did a show with us.
She did a show, so but we loved that. We had such fun with the full band. So I mean, that's the great thing about this band is we can expand and contract. And I think we added Quillen and Joe, and now we just feel like we can't play without them.
It's true, you can't.
and you can really play just about anything with those two guys too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
instrumentation.
The possibilities are endless. There's so much sound and music now. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because when one person is missing, I mean, we still have a pretty good-sized band, but it feels like there's a void
core
sometimes.
in it. I love your writing, you guys, the way you write songs and the way you arrange them too. Let's talk about 7 Kids. Where did that come from?
That is a snapshot of all of the stuff going on that I'd been watching for, I don't know, the last 10 years or something. It was news stories and stories about immigration and people complaining about immigrants coming to this country and living in the midst of all of this social upheaval. It's really just, sort of like vignettes of contemporary culture. It's kind of bookended with this story about these 7 kids that their parents kind of like drop them off hoping that they're going to make it and be okay. And, as you're listening to the song, you're kind of watching all of this stuff unfold in this world that we're living in.
How about, I had to look up the word dopamine to make sure I knew what Dopamine Blues meant. Tell me about that song.
It's a breakup song. It's a song about losing somebody and thinking about them constantly, and you're telling yourself you should stop doing this. You should stop doing this. You're sort of addicted to the memories and euphoric recall, and so you get like a little dopamine burst when you're thinking about that person.
And finally, let's talk about Acceleration Dreams.
I mean, that was sort of me digesting a bunch of similar kind of stuff going on, and I guess throwing a little bit of a curveball to Bob Dylan, sort of the way that he would create these crazy worlds, bringing all kinds of stuff together in them.
Well, one of the things I love about your writing and your arranging is, well, it's the arrangements of your songs. There's always a great chorus, there's a bridge, there's tags, everything's in the right place at the right time. It's got a great pop sensibility to it. Where does that come from? Were you raised listening to pop music or blues or what?
I'm an AM radio guy, you know. I listen to all of those great songs. You listen to songs in the 70s, and they knew how to write songs, and I feel like the Beatles really set the gold standard for really good pop songwriting. But, you know, there's Burt Bacharach in there and Randy Newman, and that whole era to me is just like a golden era of really good pop songwriting. So no matter how much I try to do something that feels unique and new, it's linked to those roots of it that I have.
Every now and then I hear something from a song, or it reminds me of a song that I hear from back in my childhood or my teens. And so, yeah, I'm on the same lines as you. So there are more original songs to be recorded yet, and there are more gigs to happen. What's next for you guys?
Well, we are going to record our next album.
Already?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're getting together and we're starting to share material now.
Yeah.
So I think we've given ourselves a deadline of end of this month, which is April, to share our first round of new songs, new material. We're gonna maybe veer toward a more country vibe on the next album.
Okay.
Possibly, yeah.
Probably pretty banjo heavy.
Yep. There'll be lots of banjo solos.
Okay.
Yep.
And a little more pedal steel, probably.
Yes. And also, we still have a bunch of songs from the first album that we never recorded. So really great songs. It was hard culling the 24 songs down to 12, I think is what it ended up.
There's probably a couple that'll fit, you know, from the old batch.
Yeah.
But I think I'm kind of looking forward to it being a bit more collective in terms of the contributions of everybody in writing and sort of moving us into a kind of a whole new place.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also
More
hoping to,
collaborative.
tour a little bit this summer and get out of town. We feel like folks know us pretty well in the Twin Cities, and we're trying to grow a little bit outside of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
But you all have day jobs now, right?
We do. Every one of us does, yes. Well, summers. Teachers get summers up. Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to work in the summer, which is nice. I'm planning to get some headway done on the record and do some touring, and I'll spend a little time with my children.
Yeah.
And Savannah and I are both self-employed, so unfortunately, I'm going to go home and work because I have a deadline tomorrow. So,
Tonight?
I got to finish a website tonight. And Savannah runs her own store, but we do have the flexibility to sort of, if we need to go on the road or take time off, we don't have to ask for permission.
I'm talking with members of Turn in the studio today. It's Adam Levy and Barb Brinstad, and I should acknowledge Ava Bella Levy and your new single.
Yes.
Which is playing on the Current and Radio Heartland right now. Congratulations.
Super exciting. Yeah, I'm feeling very excited about it.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Thank you so much.
It kind of sounds like your dad's stuff in a little way.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've listened to his music probably more than anybody else. I was sending him, the past 2 years, I realized that my Spotify Wrapped, his band was the number one every year. And I was like, this is kind of embarrassing, but sweet. Yeah.
We should acknowledge that Ava is sitting in for Savannah, who could not be here today. Would you introduce the rest of the band for us, please?
Hi. Joe Savage. Hi. Nice to meet you on pedal steel. Dobro soon, I hope. I want you to play dobro. He plays harmonica.
Yep.
He plays something called the kitchen sink, which is a percussion instrument that has everything on it, but mostly pedal steel at this point. On drums is Josh Kaplan. We've been playing together for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been probably a decade now.
Yeah. And Peter J. Sands playing keyboards with us. And Peter's been in the Honey Dogs and Hookers and Blow, and we've been pals for a long time. And, of course, Quillen Rowe on banjo and guitar and really cool braids.
Yeah. Well, what a pleasure to finally get you guys in the studio. And I just love your music and your music making, and thanks for being here very much.
Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for playing our music.
Yeah, we
appreciate it.
I'm Mike Pengra. This is Radio Heartland.
The Current is public media made possible thanks to member support.